Secret of the Mimic comes out tomorrow! Oh, you're kidding me, it's exclusive to PlayStation? Haven't got to wait another 5 months! Hello everyone, it's Xtropic and welcome to the possibly final Ozzie video. I might release an Ozzie 4 later down the line once I've released a couple episodes so I'm not spoiling anything. But as of now, this will probably be my last ever Ozzie video. Today we're going to be talking about a scrapped version of Season 1 and the scrapped version of Season 2 that it would have led into. And along the way, we're also going to compare it to the upcoming Ozzie stuff that's releasing, with as little spoilers as possible, because I'm not the Arrow Flash. So without any further ado, let's get right into it with... Tears falling down at the party. Right off the bat, Xtropic was going to be the only villain this season and would have also spotted a different design. Yeah, it looks like dog crap. This season will basically focus on the gang trying to discover the mysteries of Astro-Tech on a little slice of life type thing, occasionally ending episodes with EB having night terrors. EB would then go on to tell Tessa in the next episode and she'd just chalk it up to a wiring issue purely because she hadn't programmed him with the ability to dream at night. And it becomes a non-issue until the sub-ultimate episode where Xtropic appears on the news exactly how EB described him. Eventually in the finale episode, Xtropic would come over with a bunch of Astro-Tech's other subjects and they'd raid the manor. The season would have eventually ended in a post-credit scene where EB and Tessa are sitting on Elliot's Peak, basically overlooking the entirety of Harlan. They start talking and then basically everything glitches out and it cuts to reality where Tessa is dead, EB is crying and Harlan is up in flames. Xtropic would have won. You're probably wondering, oh Xtropic, how would it have continued from here? Harlan is destroyed. In a goddamn minute! This season got cancelled purely because it was boring, and in turn the follow-up season I'm about to talk about got cancelled. And I feel bad for that because the season I'm about to talk about actually wasn't boring at all, it was actually quite good. Season 1 was unfortunately a Scooby-Doo knockoff which was quite unfunny and had a little smidge of narrative at the end of each episode. That was it. Anyways, on to... Right off the bat, this season was going to be 10 times better than the last one, purely because the narrative structure and writing style is closer to the seasons that are currently set to come out. Meaning there was actual jokes and character development and somewhat decent story beats, but unfortunately its foundation was literally built off paper mache. This season was going to be a night-themed season. I tried to find all the concept art, but unfortunately the only one I could find was this night Xtropic design, which I did translate to a digital picture. So it's immortalized now, it's never going away. But the general idea of the season was so cool. Basically, Harlan's citizens would rebuild from the ashes by creating these literal scrap castle-looking things. And throughout the entire season, the robots would try and bunker down in one of these castles, but obviously it's owned by the people of Harlan. And throughout Season 1, Astro-Tech made it their mission to make everyone in Harlan hate the robots, so they're just not welcome anywhere. Fun fact, there was actually going to be a second villain this season, one that you might recognise. EB. If you've been keeping an eye on the Ozzie teasers, you'd know that I've been trying to set up the fact that modern Xtropic can create holograms of people, and that ability came from this scrapped version of him. And if you remember the end of the last segment, Tessa died. What do you think he did? This entire season, EB was basically Xtropic's lapdog purely because Xtropic was pretending to be Tessa. But basically throughout the entire season, EB would have done Xtropic's bidding because Xtropic's goal this season, after claiming Harlan, was to take down the dome surrounding it and reach other places on Earth. That's right, this uncapped version of Xtropic was going to be an Avengers level threat. The season would have ended with Xtropic breaching a specific Astro-Tech base called Lunar Nova. And let me tell you this, Lunar Nova is in the modern Ozzie seasons, and it is of vital importance, so I'm not going to say what exactly is in there, or who's in there, or whatever. Actually, to give you a hint, there is a very specific reason why this segment of the Ozzie saga is known as the Clockwise saga. But that's all you're getting. And that's realistically it. I never planned a season 3 for this version of Ozzie, and the current version of Ozzie that I'm releasing started proper development around Halloween 2023. So barely under a year after this entire animated Ozzie idea came to fruition to begin with. And some of you may be confused because I did announce and release Ozzie Season 3 Episode 1 roughly around the same time modern animated Ozzie started development. This was purely because Ozzie Season 3, or what it was based off, Ozzie Glimpse of Madness, was supposed to lead into New Ozzie. And that's confused some viewers because let me tell you this, one of my friends genuinely thought at the end of Ozzie Glimpse of Madness they'd go back to the island from Old Ozzie. No. The end of Old Ozzie will be explained when the series actually comes out around roughly episode 4. Oh yeah, and lastly, I'd like to talk about the fact that there was a company in Ozzie Season 3 called Astro-Tech, and the fact that I started a show called Pulling Willy 2 months before I announced Ozzie in a timely manner, knowing I wasn't going to be able to complete it. The Astro-Tech part is simple. It's reused from New Ozzie. Hull and Willy was a hoax. It was never going to be an actual series, I'm going to be brutally honest. It was a tax write-off. I wanted something to release around the time of Valentine's Day, and I knew in New Ozzie, Willy constantly tried to get a girl and was self-conscious about his own appearance. So I brought that idea into Old Ozzie for a simple 4-5 minute Valentine's Day special to hold people over until the Ozzie announcement. I'm just clearing this up before some of you people think there was more Ozzie planned. There wasn't. In fact, if you look back at the New Year's video, which if you're watching this on the Xtropic Season 1 playlist, you probably just watched. If you look back, every project on that list was cancelled. Purely because I wanted to announce something that wasn't Ozzie in a timely manner yet. Some of those projects were cancelled for months, some years. But I just didn't want to go into a New Year's video, introduce a crappy channel rebrand on New Year's Eve and be like, you can expect nothing from me next year. Bye. If you want to know now what I would have actually announced if I was being factual, I would have announced the Badbot Creates channel, Nexus Reborn Overclock, Nexus Reborn Hacked, and I also would have announced Ozzie in a timely manner in its prequel syntax. So anyways, I guess that's it. There's the end of Xtropic Season 1 and Ozrich 3. What do I want the last word to be? The arrow flash sucks.